Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to do a time spread reading for John Andrew regarding JonBenét Ramsey's murder. He's just been somebody that I have been shown energetically as somebody to be very concerned about. I don't know, I never really suspected him before I started reading on the case, and then it became very clear to me that John Andrew was in some way abusing the kids in the home. For sure, JonBenét, because that is who I read on. I don't know the exact involvement with her murder, but I get bad energy around him. And JonBenét told us in her first reading that the person that did this to her was her name. So this is, I don't know if she's referring to somebody by the name of John, which there's so many Johns in this case, or if she's referring to her literal name, JonBenét, which is JonBenét, or there's been a lot of speculation around Burke. And so I don't know if potentially John Andrew's abuse on the kids maybe caused Burke to act out in this way if he was also being abused, and maybe it doesn't necessarily exclude Burke, but maybe the root of what happened to JonBenét and the deep-seated violence and anger that was within Burke had something to do with John Andrew, because I don't know any other reason why Spirit would be pulling me towards John Andrew so strongly. And I really thought I was kind of alone in that suspicion, because I don't really see much about people talking about it. I see a lot about Burke, a lot about Santa and the housekeeper and the gardeners and John and his business associates and neighbors and Burke's friends. I mean, everybody else but an emphasis on John Andrew. So I don't know if I'm just missing these stories or what, but I always had the suspicion that Patsy wrote the Ramsey note. Patsy wrote the Ramsey note. Interesting. The ransom note. So I knew she was doing it to cover her family in some way, whether that be John and his business, the kids, a lover. I mean, I've kind of gone back and forth, and I keep getting hints about a lover here. But the lover seems to be an emphasis on JonBenét's lover. And I know that sounds sick, guys, but I didn't even know this part of the case where there was the dictionary open and creased on the corner pointing to the word incest on John Ramsey's desk in his study. So, I mean, I think there were signs there, and I think it's so bizarre. Anyways, to get to the point of tonight's reading, I do feel like Spirit has highlighted John Andrew to me, and I don't know why. I keep getting little tidbits of things throughout other people's videos talking about the investigation, the murder, different evidence that was found, you know, different insights into the investigation. And the more that I learn, the more I get a bad feeling about John Andrew. Anyways, back to giving Maya's tarot topics credit. I came across her video well over a year ago, and I was watching one of her Idaho 4 true crime readings way before I even really started watching true crime tarot. I had stumbled across her video, and I had remembered that there was a reader that did like a time clock spread, and so I did that for my Nicole Kessinger reading, and then Casey's the one that actually credited Maya. I went back and looked her up, and yes, that is the person that I watched well over a year ago with the Idaho 4, so I want to give her proper credit. I don't know if it was her original idea or if she got it from someone else, but that's the only person I know to credit for the spread. So that's what I wanted to do for John Andrew. I was sitting here meditating, pulling cards before getting the camera ready to set up, and you know, I got my tea, I've been meditating with music, shuffling, and I want to go over the cards on the table with you guys, and then we're going to pick some tarot cards, because I don't really know which decks to use, but I know I wanted to use the Winter Wait, and I had the Oracle of the Radiant Sun already sitting out, so I felt like that was probably a part of the message also, because I usually put the decks away when I'm done, and this one was sitting off to the side, not wrapped, so I'm like, okay, maybe that one has a message here. I find it pretty ironic that we have Caution and the Knight of Wands sitting at the bottom of both of these decks. And this is, I was pulling energy for John Andrew. So the first 4 cards we have up here are Revenge and Practicality, with Endurance and Bluff. Again, with that symbol of the lion. The lion and the unicorn was out here in the Oz and Wonderland deck. as there being some sort of dispute, but then we also have that energy down here as well. So the first 5 cards that I pulled down here, King of Wands with the 5 of Wands, is telling me some sort of dispute, argument had happened, potentially between John Andrew and JonBenét. And then this is the energy of somebody being asked to leave or kicked out. Like, you need to go. Some sort of argument broke out, and potentially over needing money or asking for money. We have the 6 of Pentacles with the 10 of Pentacles. When I first started reading on this case, I was getting the energy of the Fall of the House of Usher with the very first episode of the bastard child, the younger kid who was asking his dad for money for businesses, and he ended up throwing that crazy rave party, and then the sprinklers came on, and like the acid bath, whatever that was. So that was the energy I was getting around this case with the umbrellas and the Fall of the House of Usher energy, and that kind of ties into him asking his dad for money and them having, you know, falling out, or however it happened in the actual show. It also shows a lot of anger around John Andrew. This revenge card has something to do with money, practicality, something he wanted. I feel either there was a dispute here and he was asked to leave. And then I keep getting drawn to that 911 call on December 23rd, where the cops showed up at the Ramsey's residence, and the Steins actually opened the door and asked them to leave. Like, the cops did not even speak to the owner of the house. And that still bothers me. Every time I hear somebody mention that 911 call the night of the kids' party, I get that energy. And I feel like maybe there was a falling out or a fight between John and John Andrew, and somebody had called the cops, but he was asked to leave, and then they didn't want the cops involved. I know that's weird, but I keep getting this reference of that 911 call had something to do with this energy that I'm looking at right here. And I feel like he came back as a form of revenge on Christmas night. I don't know. Because then we have the Chariot and the little JonBenét card. Like, coming back on Christmas night. This is Santa in his sleigh for his revenge. So that's the opening energies. I am going to clean this up, and then we're going to pull some decks together because I don't know which decks to use. And then we're going to do a 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. time spread on John Andrew the night of the 25th and 26th. I know he has an alibi, and I don't buy it. So if you are somebody who firmly believes that John Andrew's alibi is rock solid, then this might not be the reading for you. I just recommend that you click off if you're not open-minded. Please don't leave nasty comments about his alibi. I don't believe his alibi, and that is my intuition. That is what Spirit has been showing me in the cards, and I have to go by that. I never suspected him before I started reading on it, so I have to follow the nudges from Spirit, because it's not my own opinion. So I have to go with where the energy is taking me, and I don't believe John Andrew was where he said he was the night that it happened. And I'm also not even quite sure about Melinda and her whereabouts. I mean, her palm print was the only one found on the door to where JonBenét was placed. Her palm print was on the door. John Andrew had sperm-covered semen on a blanket in a suitcase in the basement with a child's book. I got the energy of him sodomizing her, and his alibi is Melinda and his friend somewhere else. But then Melinda and John Andrew were supposed to meet his parents somewhere else, but yet John Andrew was on the plane by himself and Melinda wasn't. I don't know. It's just, why were him and Melinda split up all of a sudden? Why are their two DNAs the only ones found in the basement? John Andrew also owned high-tech boots. I know Burke did also, but why do we only talk about Burke owning high-tech boots when John Andrew did as well? He had a backpack found in the room, you know, the night that JonBenét was murdered, and the dad said he didn't recognize it. And then they kept saying how close those two rooms were. It was right, that John Andrew's room was right next door to JonBenét's, and he was known to be an outdoorsy, hiking, camping type of person who always had rope on him, and he was a scout something, and did something that John Ramsey did, so he would have had the same training, the same knot tying training, and all this outdoorsy experience, the same type of boots. I don't know. The more I look into it, the more I feel like he was actually there on Christmas. Oh, also guys, I think it was True Crime Rocket Science was talking about the photos that were taken on Christmas, and how usually there's a surplus of videos and pictures. I think the reason why all those pictures disappeared is because the narrative was that John Andrew was not there with them that Christmas, but I believe the pictures and videos would say otherwise. So they had to get rid of the videos, because if Burke did it, why would they have to get rid of... Christmas morning videos of Burke and JonBenét, that would just be more proof of their loving, perfect Christmas morning, unless they were trying to actually hide the evidence of an actual person being in town that later came out wasn't supposed to be in town. Who else would that be, guys? We know Burke was there. We know Burke was in the house. They wouldn't be hiding the fact that he was there. Who else would be there Christmas morning with them opening gifts but one of the other children that now, after the murders, they're saying wasn't actually there? So that also stuck out to me as a reason why maybe those Christmas videos all of a sudden disappeared. And then the weird pictures they found of JonBenét on the camera. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So let's pull this up. I'm going to get an overall energy spread from the winter weight, and then we're going to pull some decks together to see which ones we're going to use for the actual time spread, and then I will stitch it here after I get the decks out, because I don't know which ones are going to come out and how easily accessible they're going to be. I have decks everywhere. Some of them are even packed away in a box behind me. So let's just see what comes out. I'll get the decks out and we will do time spread. The time spread is going to be 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. for John Andrew. So instead of like a 12 to 12, 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., we are going to do the energy of 10 p.m., 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 a.m. First, we're just going to get an overall energy on camera from the winter weight. Spirit, can you please guide this message and show us what we need to see about John Andrew, his overall energy? Anything we should know about John Andrew's energy the night that JonBenét was murdered? Can you show us John Andrew's energy the night that JonBenét was murdered? Wow, that kind of hit the table violently. Six of Swords flipped out here with the Tower. So this is a traveling card with destruction. Ooh, 10 of Swords at the bottom. Again, for those of you who are triggered that I put the cards back in and just randomly decide what to take, I'm sorry. I read intuitively. I don't follow any rules. I don't put tarot in a box. I use it as a tool for my intuition, and I choose the cards that I feel need to be out here. If they come out again, so be it, but I'm not going to be told I need to keep cards out just because they show themselves. I mean, I show them to you guys. I'm not hiding the energy, but anyways. All right. And there it is again. So what we have on the table here is the Queen of Swords, the Two of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the Seven of Wands, 10 of Swords. So the Eight of Wands in the middle is a card of travel, and the Two of Wands is also like preparing to travel. This person is holding a present in his hand, so almost like getting ready to leave to go take presents somewhere. The Seven of Wands here. I'm going to clarify. The Queen of Swords here could be his mom. I know the story is that he was visiting his mom for Christmas, because that is the divorced mom. And that is his story, that he went to go see his mom for Christmas. But then the Seven of Wands. With the Ten of Swords, I don't like that. Let's see. Let's clarify the Queen of Wands. I mean, the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. card. There's that Lion again with the Strength. Six of Cups. This to me is the energy of like the mom protecting her child by maybe saying he was there for Christmas, is what I'm feeling with that. But of course, I understand that that is a very biased way to look at it. If I do think John Andrew has, oh, look at that, 9 of Swords and 3 of Swords here at the bottom. I know that if I suspect John Andrew, that's an easy way to read this energy. I don't know, let's clarify the 2 of Wands and 8 of Wands. Yeah, it's just looking like protecting her child by saying he came to see me for Christmas. This is that defending him from this accusation. The World card, heavy travel. Heavy travel energy there with 2 of Wands, 8 of Wands, and the World card. Let's see, 7 of Wands with 10 of Swords. The Sun and 6 of Wands. There's that Sun card again that keeps repeating. And then somebody mentioned that the Sun card could come out representing JonBenét, and I love that with the 6 of Wands here. The 6 of Wands is like triumph and victory. So that word of victory just stands out. One, because of the ransom note, and it keeps repeating in a couple other videos with JonBenét with this whole victory energy, like winning at all costs. And the Sun, I feel like they got away with it. Like victory and success over defending the fact that they did this horrible deed. Again, it's hard for me now that I have such a strong opinion on John Andrew. It becomes harder to read unbiasedly. 10 of Pentacles, heavy emphasis on money, generational money. Well, I guess that's the opening message. However that translates. I do want to get into the time spread to see what else Spirit wants to say about John Andrew and the timing, where he was when JonBenét was being murdered. I separated my deck of decks by tarot and oracle cards here. So I'm going to pull 3 tarot cards. I'm going to keep the winter weight out here, and then I'm going to pull 3 oracle cards. No, stop it. Okay, let's get 3 oracle cards first. By the way, for those of you interested, I finally counted this deck here of my different decks, and there's a couple decks I don't have in here yet, or that I realized were missing. I don't know. I think I'm missing like 1 or 2, but I have 44 oracle decks and 44 tarot decks. So as of right now, I probably have about 90 decks, because I do feel like I'm missing a couple last time I counted. So for those of you who were wondering, I think I'm right about 88, 90 decks. Okay, we're gonna take this one, and this one. We'll do 3 tarot decks. 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's see what we got. The Destiny Oracle, the Dark Mirror Oracle. I knew this one was going to come out, and I was hoping it wouldn't. I don't want the Cosmic Dreamscapes out here, and I don't know why when I seen it when I was shuffling earlier, I'm like, I know this card's going to come out. I should just take it out of the deck. But maybe I felt like it was going to come out because I knew it should be out, but I didn't want it to come out. So the fact that I only chose 3 of these, and it's here, I feel like that's probably important, but I'm not happy to see this deck. I don't know why. I don't feel like it fits what I'm trying to do here. But maybe something interesting will come out of that deck. It's very interesting. And then we have, 2 decks that I absolutely did not want to come out. Okay, interesting. So the Rider-Waite-Smith OG Tarot is the one that I wrote on, my very first tarot deck for the Rider-Waite-Smith standard deck. Interesting. The Ritual Tarot. This is an interesting deck, and I just don't feel... See, this is why I do this. I pull the decks because I would never put these together. I would never use the standard Rider-Waite original deck, and I wouldn't use the Ritual Tarot deck or the Cosmic Dreamscapes, but it's here, so we're just going to play along. Okay, and the Mermaid's Tarot. I do feel like I need one more tarot deck because I'm going to use the Ritual for my two overarching energies, because you'll see that the deck is very different. The imagery is just different. So I'm going to pull one more to accompany, but I won't exclude it. We'll leave it in here, but I need something else to accompany that Mermaid's Tarot. Spirit, can you give us one more tarot deck? This is going to be a very interesting reading. Very interesting. The Radiant Wise. So the mini... Oh, look at it. And there's that Winter Waite at the bottom. I love that. So again, this Radiant Wise is the standard Rider-Waite-Smith, but the mini edition. And then the Winter Waite is a standard Rider-Waite. So we really only have the Mermaid's Tarot to give me signs and symbols, really. I mean, all right. I guess that's what we're doing, guys. So I'm going to cut the video here. I'm going to stitch it once I clean up and get all the decks out, and I will be right back. All right, guys, I am back with all of the decks. I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to end up playing out, because majority of these are not my favorite decks. So anyways, we're going to start with two opening energies from the Ritual Tarot. If you guys aren't familiar, this is a deck I found on Etsy from Tiara May. I was actually really interested in this deck and so excited to get it. And then for whatever reason, this deck and I we just don't vibe. I don't know. I was kind of expecting more from the book based on the price point. And I mean, it is a beautiful deck. It's hard for me to get messages out of this symbology here, the symbolism. I mean, maybe if I just used it more, I'm not sure. But we're going to get two opening energies here for John Andrew, his energy and timeline for the night of the murder. Alice, you need to sit. This cat has been sleeping on me all afternoon, and then I sit down to do this, and she needs... Oh my gosh. Come on. Get him. Nobody wants to see your booty. Okay, so the first card that flipped out here looks like the Three of Cups. So I'll let you guys kind of see the imagery here for a minute. The top of this is kind of looking like a birth chart to me. The mountains reminds me a lot of Boulder, Colorado. So you can see on the back it tells you what it is. Three of Cups here. Let's get one more. Alright, bottom of the deck, Five of Cups with Five of Swords. Interesting. This looks like the Queen of Wands. Let me see. Princess of Wands. So Page of Wands. So this could symbolize JonBenét. Princess of Wands here with the Three of Cups. Five of Cups is lost. Five of Swords is that winning at all costs, the victory card. With the High Priestess, secrets. Okay. Those are the opening energies. Let's just see how this progresses. I'm going to get a dark mirror. Well, maybe we'll save the dark mirror with the Destiny Oracle for the final ending messages, and I'll get a Cosmic Dreamscape for the center of the clock. This is the Cosmic Dreamscape deck for those of you who are interested in the decks. All right, Spirit, show us the center energy for 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. the night JonBenét was murdered for John Andrew. What is the overall energy center of the clock? Ascendant, taking things at face value with the third house. On the bottom, take a good look around. Look at this. Look at this person running. And there's something between two houses. This looks like an ear. Maybe the scream that the neighbor heard from the other house. It's an interesting visual here. And again, with the third house, we have the Three of Cups over here. The center of the spread, though, we have the Ascendant. Take things at face value. So I don't know if that's saying in the spread here, take it at face value and don't read into the symbols too much. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to take a quick look at that in the book. You may not want to judge a book entirely by its cover, but you can get a pretty solid feel for its vibe by reading the back of it, right? The surface of a situation can tell you a lot about what lies beneath. So right now, take what's showing up in front of your face at face value versus trying to read between the lines. The ascendant in astrology, sometimes referred to as the rising sign, is the point at which a chart begins, and it symbolizes how we show up in the world. Whatever it is that you're being shown right now is probably a good representation of what actually is, so trust your vision. Wow. We are about to be shown the truth about John Andrew, apparently. Take it at face value. Don't read into it too much. Don't try to see between the lines and just read what comes out. Okay. I was saying that kind of looked like a birth chart. All right, we have the 3 tarot decks here of the Mermaid, the Rider-Waite, and the Radiant Wise. I think I'll use the Radiant Wise for the in-between time frames. Or do I want to clarify? I don't know. All right, I'm going to get the 10 p.m., 1 a.m., 4 a.m., and 7 a.m. first. 8 of Cups for 10 p.m. (1 a.m.), 4 of Pentacles, 4 a.m., 2 of Swords, oh, I'm just noticing there's discs on both the top of these cards. Like the top of this one, what I was saying looked like a birth chart, but then has the same kind of energy up here. And that isn't common in this deck. So that, I don't know why I'm just now seeing that. It's kind of reminding me of like Roberto's readings where he does the birth charts. I have to go in and rewatch the JonBenét. I'm sure I've watched it. I don't really remember what he said about her birth chart, but I'm sure he has one on here. Maybe there's a message in there for us. 8 of Pentacles for 7 a.m. Bottom of the deck is the Magician. Let's get an energy between 10 and 1. So for 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. Ooh. So this is 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. We have the Death card here. Just being drawn to this card. I don't remember when the neighbor said she heard the scream, but I think it was midnight. I could be wrong on that though. Let's do between 1 and 4 a.m. So we have the energy of 2 and 3 a.m. Too many of them. I'm not taking them because multiple were flipping out. 8 of Cups again. Wow. So that interesting. So between 10 p.m. and 2 and 3 a.m. he was walking in and walking out, I feel. This is showing an entering and an exit to me, if he was there. It's showing him out and about at those times. So here we have 4 a.m. So 5 and 6 a.m. Okay, King of Cups. Yeah, fighting. These are two people battling. There's the King of Cups. Possibly with his dad over work or money here. So 7, 8 and 9 a.m. The Emperor. Yeah, the dad having to take control of the situation to, I feel like, to save face at work, to be honest. I feel like John Ramsey's work was being shown to me because the only reason, yeah, there's the Tower and the Hangman. The only reason why he would feel the need to cover up something like this is to save face for work, because he couldn't have this reputation on him. He knew he would lose his job, his status. I feel like his entire reputation, everything that he built up for his family would be ruined to have this type of situation on his hands. So I feel like the reason why the family even went into the mode of covering this was to save John Ramsey's career. And potentially John Andrew had some sort of information on him that he knew might hurt his business or his own reputation in some way. So it was easier to cover for him than to let this all come out, what really happened. But if we're looking strictly at John Andrew, heavy King of Cups, Emperor taking control of the situation over here after 4 a.m. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 a.m. we have John Ramsey taking control of the situation to save face, I believe, for his career. Over here we have a coming and going with the Death card and the 4 of Pentacles. Over greed, over needing more money, not feeling like you have enough. All right, let's clarify in between with our Radiant Wise. Spirit, can you clarify the center energy for the Ascendant? Take things at face value. I'm also seeing that as the Rising Sun, and I just seen the 4 of Pentacles again. That's the Greed and Miser card. A lot of energy around greed with John Andrew. The Rising Sun. Okay, let's clarify 8 of Cups with the Death card. So this would be 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and 12 a.m. Can you clarify? Six of Swords. He was in motion. Five of Pentacles. Kicked out of somewhere. Either kicked out of his mom's or kicked out of his dad's. He was... The Hermit just came out with the Lovers. He was in motion. He was moving in the night. He was out and about. I'm going to get one more to clarify. Eight of Cups and Death. 10 of Wands. Heavy burden. Let's do Death and Four of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. The Ten of Cups. Yeah, I feel like he feels like he didn't get enough out of this family. This family has the two kids shown playing in the background. He maybe felt like on the outside of the family, or like he wasn't getting the same treatment as the other two kids in the house. Let's do 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and 3 a.m. Four of Pentacles with the Eight of Cups. The Ace of Cups with the Seven of Swords. Well, this is being sneaky and deceptive, sneaking out. If you got there around 11, Nine of Swords, Five of Pentacles here at the bottom again. So if he was sneaking out of, oops, sorry guys. If he was sneaking out of the house at this time, I feel like he tried to take her with him. I don't know. I'm just seeing this heavy burden in this Page of Pentacles. Like, he really did try to take her. Maybe even putting her in that suitcase, and that didn't fit through the window, so he left it. I don't know. I don't know why I was getting the energy with those sticks, as if he was like trying to take her out of the house. But this is lies, deceit, trickery, sneaking around, sneaking out of the house. This Ace of Cups bothers me. Well, now I'm seeing it as the Ninth Cup. So the Eight of Cups here with the Ninth Cup, I feel he felt proud, like happy about what he did, but then we have that anxiety card. This card bothers me. I don't know why. It's typically a good card. Damn it. Can't reach that one. I think it was the Two of Wands. There's Justice. Spirit, clarify. Eight of Cups and Two of Swords. This is 4 a.m. Nine of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. I'm trying to read these at face value, and I'm trying not to go into it too much. I do feel like there's Justice again with the Empress. I feel like Patsy's the one that found her around this time. between 3 and 4 a.m. Seeing what was going on here. This is the energy of like, shit, what do we do type of energy. 8 of Cups showing itself to me again. What is this energy with John Andrew and 8 of Cups? But yeah, I feel like this is the energy where the mom comes into the equation. And I do feel like there was a battle here, maybe between Patsy and John, about what to do about the situation after John Andrew has fled. I feel like he's no longer on the scene by 3 a.m. He's gone. And I feel like this is the timing where mom and dad come head to head about what to do about the situation. And then John Ramsey kind of takes control of the situation here by 5 a.m. And this is between 3 and 5 a.m. I feel like John and Patsy are putting this whole thing together. Because here we have all of John. There's Justice again. Man, I wonder. I wonder if there will ever be justice here. I mean, it's shown up quite a few times already, this spread. I wonder if anything will tie John Andrew back to this. Let's do the King of Cups with the 8 of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. Page of Wands. I'm just getting the energy there with like his hands were tied. And maybe even somebody above John Ramsey came in to help the situation, somebody he worked with, and that's why we're getting that energy of right here under the Emperor says the rise or fall by the company you keep, but I read it as the rise or fall of your company. I feel like maybe somebody ahead of John, maybe he called them for help and was told this is how you have to handle it. Because now I'm feeling like the Emperor with the 8 of Pentacles is somebody John Ramsey trusted to help in this situation. I'm gonna get one for the 8 of Pentacles and the Emperor. That's what it's feeling like. Someone's coming to help him out from this situation. Somebody above him. Somebody he trusted and came to for advice. Possibly someone at work. 8 of Cups again. For 8 of Pentacles and the Emperor. Lots of 8 of Cups here. Three of Cups, Page of Wands, did I ever clarify the center card for Ascendant? Why am I not seeing a card out here? I'm gonna grab one just because I thought I did, but I don't see the card. So Spirit, can you give us one final clarifier for the Ascendant? 2 of Pentacles, take things at face value. The Magician here at the bottom. So we have the Magician at the bottom of both of these decks. Ooh, the Hanged Man there and the Emperor there. Okay, so here we have the 2 Magicians, and then under these two, we have the Emperor with the Hangman. Yeah, making sure John didn't get caught up, didn't get his business caught up in any of this, I feel was the main reason to stage everything the way it was because of John's business. Not really to protect the kid, I feel like. I feel like it was to protect something bigger that was going on that would have affected a lot of people, and I feel like may have had something to do with even being afraid for his family if he didn't do this because of what would happen with the company's reputation or something like that. I'm trying to just take this at face value. I'm just seeing this Two of Pentacles like back and forth with this Eight of Cups here. It's like going back and forth, in and out, in and out. Like this person was in and out of the scene. Oh, didn't John Andrew end up coming back that morning? So if this is 10 p.m. and he's either showing up or leaving somewhere, traveling somewhere else, leaves again, at some point the next morning, he does come back. He shows up at the house, but supposedly from a flight he was on, gets off and shows up at the house. So is he coming, going, and coming back? Interesting. I don't know. Let's get a Destiny Oracle with a dark mirror to end this off. Yeah, I don't know. These weren't the decks I would have chosen myself, so I feel like I'm having a harder time, but I'm going to continue to read on John Andrew to see what Spirit wants to tell me. I guess these were the decks that we needed to use for the clock spread. I do feel like I want to do an energy read on John and Patsy and their timeline, and then also Burke. Flirt with your inner wisdom and the strength. Be still. There's strength in the stillness. Look at this freaking mushroom card. Flirt with your inner wisdom and freaking mushrooms. The mushrooms are a repeating energy. And I feel like I'm just seeing the mushroom here in this top cup as well. There's something to do with mushrooms. I would not be surprised if John Andrew was on drugs that night. Flirt with your inner wisdom. Be still. The strength is in the stillness. And there's that strength card again with the repeating energy with the lions, the strength. This is card 1 and this is card 19. I believe John Andrew was 19 at the time she was killed. Let's get a dark mirror for between these two energies to see how it comes together. I mean, the dark mirror is probably one of the only ones I would have chosen for this spread. I don't even think I would have chosen the Mermaid Tarot. Alright, Spirit, can we have a dark mirror to accompany Flirt with your inner wisdom and Be still? You know what Spirit just showed me in my head was the image of all the clothes on John Andrew's bed that Patsy was planning to pack. And was that just another way to throw off the case by having all the clothes on the bed to just prove that John Andrew was not in his bed, that clothes were all over the bed? I don't know. I feel like they just did so much to prove John Andrew wasn't there. And now I'm just seeing, you know, the clothes on his bed being part of this whole like cover up, like, oh, this is the bed I was packing on because John Andrew wasn't in town, he wasn't even here type of thing. Forgetting oneself with blinded to pain on the bottom. This is the energy of a young male. Forgetting oneself. All right, I'm going to read these and let's see how they come together. The moon stage here is denial. A naked young man whose curly brown hair are intertwined by a golden laurel crown. Half of a golden mask protects his eyes while the sky around him breaks, ripped to take the shape of a mistletoe branch. A mistletoe branch. That is creepy. That gives me chills. A modern Adonis, an ancient Hermes, a grown-up Cupid shrined by laurel, mirth, and lotus. He is the welcoming allure of the present moment, the warm embrace which numbs everything else. If you let go of the pressure and of the pain, if you let go enough of your identity and of the context you live in, then you will just feel better. It is what happens when you fall asleep, when you take refuge in the arms of a loved one, or when you watch a movie slumped ungraciously on a comfy couch. Sometimes, however, it asks for more. It takes more out of you, more of yourself to be forgotten, to just feel a little better. And maybe the twisted idea that if you forget everything, then you will actually really feel better. Forgetting everything, letting everything go, not just as a moment of rest, but as a jump in the dark. It is like vertigo. You stand on the edge of the precipice and a little part of you wants to jump, but it is just a moment of rest, a moment of pause, a moment of uncreated selfishness. So what? Let it be and sleep soundly. Eating the lotus flower, numbing our identity to go by the sound of a music that was never ours. Wow. Forgetting oneself. Let's see what inner pain. Inner pain. Flirt with your inner wisdom. Wow, why did I say inner pain? I don't know. If you have not been hearing your wise inner self, that is because you have ignored it for too long. Talking about forgetting oneself, ignoring your inner wisdom. Yeah, even this card talks about potentially being disconnected with yourself, but it's never irreparably damaged. Your relationship with your inner guidance. There's some disconnect here with him, like dissociative disorder or something, if that's even a thing. Like to where he wasn't fully connected with his soul. Definitely a disconnect here. Let's read card 19. Talks about a third eye opening, meditation, being still. I just can't get over the mushrooms here. And then the flirting with your inner wisdom and forgetting oneself feels a lot like some disconnect. Three of Cups could also be like a party card. I'm going to get 3 final cards from the Winter Wait. Those 3 final cards just feel unfinished to me, like that final oracle message didn't sum it up for me. I'm not getting the ending message here, so I'm going to grab 3 final cards. Spirit, can you give us 3 final cards on John Andrews' energy the night of the murders? What is this disconnect with himself and the mushrooms all about? Oh, guys, that's the 3 of Cups and a couple other cards. I can't see the other ones, but the 3 of Cups is sitting right at my feet, showing itself to me. All right, I'm gonna pull 3 final cards. King of Pentacles. 6 of Swords, Ace of Cups, the Fool at the bottom, but this is my dark Fool. I colored in the second Fool, came with 2, and I have the dark Fool, the Innocent Fool and the dark Fool. So we have the dark Fool with the Ace of Cups. I'm just seeing 3 angels here again, 3 of Cups on the floor. There's 3 people in this boat. Ace of Cups is sitting right on top of the Ace of Cups, where I said I didn't like that energy, and I still don't fully understand that energy. But it's here again, so it's got to have some sort of significance. Also around all of this travel and movement. Again, this Ace of Cups here with all the 3s I'm seeing could mean the 3 kids were together on Christmas. John, Burke, and JonBenét. And he was traveling to his father's house. Just feeling the need to clarify this Ace of Cups again. Spirit, why is this Ace of Cups here twice? What am I not seeing with the Ace of Cups? 3 of Pentacles. I wonder if he had help, like, or if he confided in something to a girlfriend. 3 of Pentacles and the Moon with the Lovers. Yeah, like, I wonder if somebody was there with him or knew about this, like a love interest. I mean, I keep going back to that incest being open. This wouldn't have been Melissa or Melinda, right? That's so weird. I mean, we can't say for sure what goes on in people's families, but there was something going on, some sort of help here with some sort of love interest. Unless it was like Patsy. I know it's so weird, guys, but there's something going on with some love situation. When I first started reading on this case, before I pulled any energy out, I really thought Patsy had a love interest. And that's what happened, was the person she was having a fling with was the one that probably hurt JonBenét. And her secret getting out was more damaging to her, so she covered for it or something like that. But there was definitely an energy around like a love affair. Now I'm seeing it again, but a lot in John Andrew with like help, secret love type energy, this lover's energy. Melinda's palm print was on the door to the wine cellar where JonBenét was found, but we know Patsy wrote the Ramsey note, or again, that's just my opinion, not fact. So I mean, incest was open in that dictionary for a reason. There was something going on with either John Ramsey and JonBenét, the siblings, or Patsy and the children, or again, like siblings. Somebody was looking into that for some reason. There's something off about a sexual relationship within this family, with John Andrew being the center of it. I'm going to leave that there, guys. I know it's super weird and super random. I mean, I know I'm one of the very few readers or conspiracy theorists or JonBenét Ramsey, you know, people who take interest in this case who really lean into the John Andrew thing, but I mean, I can't help it. I would love to know your guys' thoughts, what you guys think about John Andrew. If you think this is just so far-fetched, I completely understand. You guys are entitled to your opinion. This is just what Spirit is showing me, so I thought I'd share with you guys. I do want to read on the parents and Burke with the same time clock spread, and then I'm going to go back through Summer and Sebastian and Monkey Michael Vaughn to see if I can get a timeline spread for them. I really think this is kind of fun, so I kind of want to go through the cases with you guys and do this spread specifically for each of them. I feel it's only fitting if I continue to pull the decks out at random. So that's what we'll do for each of the cases, so stay tuned for those. I love you guys. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!